I'm Jemima Crosby with Coldwell Banker, and this is Brett Lott with Brett Lott Homes and Travis Davis
with Coldwell Banker. Just to sit here and just observe.
So hopefully you enjoy this podcast that we have planned out for you guys.
Yeah.
So welcome to today, which is Thursday, I believe, right before the Parade of Homes. I felt it was needed between Travis and I to interview the man of the hour, the one who's built this beautiful home, to kind of get to know him a little bit and let others get to know you, Brett, like I've gratefully had the pleasure of doing just recently. So,
as I often refer to, the Brett Lott.
He does.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The Brett
the
Lott.
Brett Lott, not just Brett Lott. The.
Yeah, whatever.
So, I kind of want to just kind of start about getting to know you, Brett, on your career. So we're going to start there and kind of just keep going and, you know, just answer the questions the best you can. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do this.
And you want them truthful, right?
I do, please.
Because that could be pretty boring.
No, you won't. Okay, I would love to know, how did you start? Like, what started the industry for you? I know I've heard, in the past from your family, but tell me, you as Brett Lott, tell me your story there.
Probably longer than we'd want to talk about here, but my father was a contractor. My father-in-law was a contractor. They went through the 80s and all of the challenges and recession, and I just swore I was never going to do that. And my father-in-law eventually talked me into starting a home. We had to sell our home that we were living in to build it. It was a huge leap of faith. And we moved into it, and we just kind of started really slowly and moving into some homes and building them and started from there. And it's just been, man, what a great gift. We've loved doing it.
So your dad started it completely then for you guys? Or was it like, did it come, Brett Lott Homes come
No,
from?
my dad was retired and out of the picture. It was my father-in-law that would come
father-in-law.
over. Father-in-law. And he'd come over
Wow.
on Sunday afternoons and he would say, Brett, you guys should build a house. The market's pretty active. And I'm going, yeah, not even going to. Don't do that to me. And finally, he did an end run around me and went to Sandra and said, you guys should build a house. And Sandra came to me and she goes, I think we should build a house. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Oh, man.
Looks like Dad's been talking to you, huh?
I know.
Sandra.
So we bought a lot, a 1 acre lot for $10,000, which I just thought was like the most money in the whole world. And I drew the plans on a drafting board myself with a whole bunch of eraser in my lap.
And you drew your first house.
And I drew my first house and many after that.
And did you sell that one pretty quickly?
No, actually, there's like always a story behind everything. But no, we actually moved into it and it wasn't selling. And we were actually getting to a point that if we couldn't get it sold soon, we were not going to be able to make the payment. And it sold kind of just as a gift, right in time.
Oh, interesting. So you started right off the bat. It wasn't easy.
It was not easy. My father-in-law coached us through the first house, so he was kind of my mentor. This is what you do next. This is who you call. This is what goes here. And then he helped me through that first house, and then from there on out, I would call him for questions, but that was kind of it. And
wow.
So we started from there, yeah.
That's incredible. Incredible. So with all of that over the last 30 years, is there something that stands out in your mind that may be one of your biggest accomplishments or your proudest moment when it comes to the building scene?
That is really a great question. I'm so grateful to be in the industry, and we build something that is for someone that is their most important, intimate thing. Their home is a safe haven from the world. And so we're involved with that. And it's just so cool to be able to do that. And I don't know, probably one of the things that I'm really enjoying and proud of right now is to have my son, Tyler, working with me. And he's just awesome. We get along great. He's everything that I would want someone that is coming into the business to be, how we treat clients, how we work with the trades, all that kind of stuff. So, and then to walk him through a home and be his mentor and to see at the end of a home that he built and was the project manager and stuff like that, that's pretty satisfying. That's cool.
It's cool to hear you say, the relationship with the trades, with the different subcontractors and everybody. I mean, that people can't underscore that enough.
Yep.
It's cool that you mentioned that.
I think he says it on almost every transaction I've been a part of as a recent. He puts them almost just as where he puts himself, which again, is different from others that I've heard of. So I love that you do that, Brett. That's very
so
impressive.
we're a team, and the way that we feel about our culture is that everybody works together. We're a team. It doesn't matter if it's the guy that's delivering the materials in the truck, the trades that are running electrical wire or up on the roof. We're all in the same team, and those relationships are so important in the process. And everybody can buy windows and boards and concrete and everything. So what is it that makes us different? And those relationships is a big part of that. So we've actually got trades that we've worked with for years, some decades, and one trade even 32 years.
I met him.
Yeah.
And those are the people you can call when there's something. They're going to come right out and take care of it.
Yeah.
They're going to keep the homeowner happy after the fact.
Correct.
And that's so important.
And you're kind of segueing into the next question is like, what do you think and what do you want to portray that sets Brett Lott Homes apart from the other builders? Not that anyone's any better than others. I actually admire you always saying that. But what do you feel that sets you apart in the industry?
Yeah, good question. So yes, there's a lot of great builders, and there's a lot of them that are really putting their heart into the industry and everything like we are. And I would say is what's setting us apart is those that we have handpicked to work with us. So it's our team and it's our culture. So we have these trades that we're working with that have the same goal in mind that we have, the same culture. So for instance, if we got someone that we're building a home for, when we get done with the home, they're going, man, we had a great experience and we really loved all the people we work with. We built a home for a single guy one time and we got done. Well, we were about 2 weeks away from finishing the home. And I said, wow, we're about done. Aren't you excited? And he goes, yeah, kind of. And I go, why aren't you excited? It's like you'd think you'd be excited to be done. And he goes, actually, he says, I've enjoyed the process so much, I hate to see it come to an end.
Aww.
And I said, well, then sell it and let's build another one. He goes, I thought about it. So it is the people that we work with and surround ourselves with makes that process, I would say, sets us apart.
I feel you're very intimate in that scenario. More intimate than I've met any other custom builder. You want hands-on with every client, and I appreciate that from a realtor's perspective, correct? I'm sure, Travis, we don't always get that. We usually get, others that are involved in their teams, and that's good too. Some people have great streamlined ideas, but you, Brett, want to be hands-on, and you're teaching Tyler to be the same way. Yep. Me watching that, because I think that you are trying to portray, like you said, the same culture. How you are, they will see you internally, and how your family is, they're going to see you in building your house. Yeah. And so I feel that's just outside in, right?
I appreciate that.
What I've noticed in the last couple of years. So it's awesome to see.
I appreciate that. And it is really important for us. And that's one of the reasons that we've decided not to get really big and just build tons of homes. We stay within our comfort zone of the homes that we can build and that we can be intimately involved with each of the projects. I mean, the home is, again, so important. It's a big thing for someone. You can't imagine saying, oh, well, I'm going to have a really big surgery and I'm never going to get to talk to the doctor and the assistant's going to take care of everything. It's just like, if I'm going to have a home and build it, it's like, I want to talk to the builder. I want to talk to the person that's really the mastermind of the whole thing. And so that's why Tyler and I are so involved with each home.
And what you're hoping you're going to keep on going no matter what.
Yep.
That's what I see.
So this year, the Parade of Homes is blessed with one of your incredible builds. This house right here that we're sitting in.
Yeah.
But looking back at all the Parade Homes you've built, how does this one compare with some of the ones of the past?
This one's definitely above some of the ones. I mean, we've built some very nice Parade Homes. We've built a ton of beautiful custom homes that could be like this Parade Home and more. They're just not in the Parade. And this one's really unique. In fact, it's kind of a fun little story because we were the permit was taking a little bit too long and we were running out of time. And I told Tyler and Evie, our team, we get along so well, and I just said, I don't know, I'm just uncomfortable with the time. And Tyler was like, we can do it. He's Mr. Rainbows and Unicorns, and so he's like, we can do this. And this home is unique. We have worked with Aubrey Douglas of Greystone Design, and she has pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit and said, hey, let's do some things. And it's really hard for someone that's been in the business for 3 decades to kind of move to the new trend when you've seen something for so long.
So in a way, Aubrey Douglas is kind of like your father-in-law in a way. He got you out of your comfort zone.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
like,
just kind of how that works.
I see a reoccurring theme here. It's like everybody's pushing me out of my comfort zone.
You're just getting pushed a little differently, different ways.
I am. So I am very super
love it.
conservative, and I do move slow, and it's hard for me to do change. And so people will come through this home, and there's someone that came into the home a couple of weeks ago that knows my home, so I've been around a long time. And he had to call someone else and say, so am I really in a Brett Lott home? Is this one so different than what I would typically see? And it is unique, and there's just something around every corner, from every door handle to a cabinet trim, door style, everything. It's super unique, and I think people are really going to enjoy it.
I think so, for sure.
So as we approach the parade, since you've been in a handful of them, Brett, how do you approach it? I'm going to say mentally, number one, being in the public eye and letting I would say this is also your art as much as it's your build. I think this is also, there's art behind it. So how do you allow your heart, your mental state be showcased and hope all goes as planned?
Well, I don't know, because in the build, not everything goes as planned, but we finished, we're here. So that's a really good question. I just think, for me, the heart is going into the build. It's kind of like, okay, now we're done. It's just like, let's just relax and enjoy the parade. So we hang out. Our team here is a lot during the parade. So we hang out. We want to talk to people. We want people to come up to us and ask us questions about the home or about the industry or anything. So we enjoy that. And again, we feel like people want to talk to the builder. So for us, it's kind of like, this is the fun part. This is kind of like
So it doesn't stress you out? Like
no.
Bringing in, like I said, like your showcase. Like it doesn't, knowing you're going to have 1,000 people walk through this house and shake probably 1,000 hands, that's just like your excitement out of the whole thing.
Yeah, no, that's the cool part. Love people and love to talk to people. And I know some people are going to go through and go, this is not what I would do. But there's going to be a lot of people that'll come through and go, I love it. Yeah. If you build anything that you build that is unique and different, and this home is different than what most people are going to see as they go around through homes in the Tri-Cities. Not everybody's going to like that, but we're okay with that. The important thing to us is that you sell it.
No pressure to me. Always back to that. That is still 60 years of not hearing that statement. Just sell it, Jemima.
It'll be fine as long as you
sell it. I love it's always that way.
That makes sense to me.
Okay, so I think the next thing we're going to kind of go over is maybe getting into the custom home idea and kind of understanding, because I feel like your niche is custom homes. Whether you own the lot or you build it on someone else's lot, Brett, your experience stays consistent. Seeing you even with the townhomes in West Village to here in Spencer Estates and now having a few pre-sales coming through, just understanding how you are in all levels is very similar. And I love that. That's what, again, people need to see and hear. So what's that process like in, a few sentences, if you can, from a buyer deciding Brett Lott's the builder I want to build with? What does that look like, whether it's your lot or someone else's lot or in a subdivision like a townhome scenario? Yeah,
awesome. So we still keep doing custom homes. A lot of builders has kind of got out of that true custom home market, but that's been something we've always done and we will continue to do. So for us, it's that meeting. We have a sit down with the client. Let's talk about what they're wanting to do. We can tell them about what range of price that they're going to be in. And then from there, we can decide, do you want to build one of our plans? Do we want to create one of their own? And what the process is for building on their lot or one of our lots. And we just detail that out. And we have an online customer portal that makes the process completely transparent, so they get to see the schedule and documents and everything that's going on with the home. So it just really helps that something is really quite difficult and can be an emotional roller coaster, to help kind of put that all together and be guided along the way.
And you're referring to builder trend, which, Travis, I don't know if you've ever dealt with it. Builders have used it, but I've never seen it as transparent as he's used it. Meaning everybody sees every part of the build, and buyers are able to communicate through that system, not feeling like they have to go through loopholes to get to the builder or the subcontractor. And I think for realtors, we get apprehensive at moments. And I can say that at the very beginning, I was just trying to understand. But what I've admired, Brett, is during that build process is seeing that transparency is not scary. It's not bad. Realtors need to embrace it and say, yes, finally a builder who's willing to just talk to our clients, and subs that are willing to communicate, and things, we get to see a scheduled timeline. And if it does move up or down, Brett's going to be the one saying it, and not just, oh, we have to say it. And then I've learned and embrace it so strongly, because I think that as realtors, we need to be confident in our own, saying, we're here to just guide you, make sure that you're happy, and there's nothing we need to come in and try to,
It makes the process so much better for the client, too.
Yes.
Because you look at the communication, the transparency. So then when you get down to give them their keys, it's a good feeling for them.
100%.
They don't feel like they still have to ask questions
Correct.
about things, I see would be super
I have
important,
yet to
so.
walk a home with you, Brett, proudly to say that anyone's been disappointed. There's any sense of anything. And as we know, new construction has been a thing I've done for a while. To say that so confidently, honestly, is...
Well, that's what we're working for. And I'm not saying that difficult things don't come up.
For sure.
But let's have that conversation. Let's be
During,
transparent about.
yes.
Give the client all the information they need to make their best decision. And so before, in the old days, before this kind of technology,
You're going to age yourself. Or is it too late?
Well, we've been building for 33 years, and you're probably thinking, oh, he must have started when he was 15.
That's it.
So, yeah. So a client would call up and go, so what's going on with the house this week? Just kind of curious and wondering. Well, now they go on and they can see the schedule. They can see what's going on. They can see pictures that were taken of the home. They can see on the documents and everything. And so for them, it's just like they're really involved. And for some people that live out of town, they love it because they're just feel like they're right there watching everything happen. So it's cool. Technology has been a game changer.
Yes.
Watching their baby grow up right before their eyes.
Yes,
right.
basically.
Yeah. And they're all part of it.
Yeah. So when you walk into this house, you can just feel the quality. And talking to you can also feel the quality and the pride that you take in your construction. What are some things that you do to keep that impeccable quality close to your heart?
Super great question, because there is not a builder alive that doesn't say they won't not say they're a quality builder. It's like everybody says they're a quality builder, right? I mean, no one says, yeah, we're partial quality or something. So
We try.
Yeah. So I think when you walk into the home, and some of the things that we're doing is we have a very good relationship with the trades, like we talked about, but we have really high expectations. So when a trade comes into our home, they know that they have arrived to a different job than maybe other jobs where the expectation is, hey, we need to get this done, hurry up. Where our expectation is yes, we're on a schedule, we're moving things along, but if you don't do it right, you're going to come back and do it again, and we're going to be right here, and we're going to talk about it, we're going to discuss it as you're doing it, and it just really makes it the difference with the trades and those that have the hammers and screw guns and every saws in their hand that are really making those choices of how it all comes together.
The stucco, you brought up the stucco during this house.
Yeah, so the trades, they rise to the occasion and it's just like anything in life. If you treat people with respect and with integrity, all of a sudden you're going to find them, even if you're not watching, doing things that are unique. And so on this particular house, they were doing another subcoat in the stucco, and I asked one of the guys, I'm like, so what are you doing? I haven't seen you do this before. He goes, yeah, the owner came by and he just wasn't happy with how that was finishing out, and he goes, so we're putting a whole nother subcoat on before we put the final stucco coat on. And I go, oh, I didn't even know you guys were going to do that. He was going to do it, and it wasn't even going to be talked about. And that's just kind of some of the things that go on with the trades that we use.
Yep. Yep. I admire that,
All
and
makes a
especially because
difference.
you're coming through even after every sub. Another thing that I noticed after framing, Travis, we came out and we're getting ready to do the lighting part, right? Just during framing to make sure everything was at, and the dust and everything was completely cleaned up. I don't know how many sites you've been to
Oh, a few.
that have not been broomed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we know this, I'm sure we do, but sawdust does get into the duct system, right? Later on. Brett's having the guys, and he's on his, just grabbing the broom and starting to go, and because it's not done to the level that he expects, and it's not their fault, because to be honest, most of it was all clean, except his foot. And so I was like, that just shows that he's already thinking at framing, and before framing, of course, but at framing, we got to get rid of all this dust, as much dust as possible, before the next stage.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we try. We're not perfect. It is.
No,
it is
I'm not. I know.
It is a construction
I'm not.
site.
I know.
We have our times, but that is something that we definitely want to work on. And we are there when the trades are finishing, and we are walking through, and we've got a whole framing checklist. We're checking for levelness. We're checking door opening widths. We're just kind of going through and prepping everything for the next trade. So when they come in, they're going, hey, we're dialed in. We know what we're doing. We're all set. And they love coming to our homes because it's all organized.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy work for them, or easier work for them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I'm trying to understand trends, and you are. I say this respectfully, and so are you. That's why we have Aubrey. But as we see trends evolving all the time, how are you finding yourself? Maybe more so than ever that I've seen, that the trends are becoming a new thing for every custom, every parade. It is now evolved to just that. Or do you see yourself thinking, well, this is just, it's like you've been at it for 3 decades, or is this just going to be something that people are going to go back to? Well, it's not going to be as trendy. This is going to be more timeless, let's say. How do you find yourself building right now in the future?
Surrounding myself with people that get it and understand that, because I'll be the first to admit that is so hard with me, and I'm watching things come back through that I'm going, I thought we passed that trend up 15, 20 years ago,
Yep,
and
that's why.
here we are again. And so we're working, like Aubrey Douglas has just been fantastic. I can't say enough good things about the experience that we've had with her and her ideas and vision. Like say, definitely pushing me out of the comfort zone. So Tyler and Evie and we can build a great house. We've got great trades, but those things of, can you really go into a room and use brushed nickel and brushed brass and matte black all in the same room with certain hardware and light fixtures and stuff? And to me, it's like, there is no rule. How do you figure that out? And having someone around us that can help us with those kind of things is very important.
That makes, yep. So as you've been building, Brett, I've also noticed a trend of clientele that you've actually told me that you've built multiple houses for. Yeah. What's your secret to keeping these relationships that eventually either evolve in a new home for them or their family another home or so on and so forth? What's your secret there? How do you do that?
There is no secret sauce. It's just like you said, relationships, right?
Yep.
And so when it gets done, my goal is, when I'm thinking about building a house, it's not the dollars is farther on down the line. So for me, is what motivates me is maybe some years from now, I'm gone. One of my clients are walking down the road. They see one of my children, and they say, oh, yeah, I knew your dad. We had a great experience. We loved our home. We felt like everything was communicated well. He was honest. I want my children to have that experience, and that's more important to me than how many homes am I building and how many dollars am I bringing in. And so with that kind of motivation, I think everything else just kind of falls into place.
Which is what we all need to be like.
Well, and we used to have a saying around the office that when you work with a client when that relationship, whenever they close on their home, it's almost like a breakup because you're so used to working to get with each other so intimately throughout the process. Now, when they finally move into their house, it almost feels kind of like a loss. Like, what happened?
Where's all my friends
I don't
go?
get to see them anymore.
Yep.
I don't get to see them very often. So it's cool that you were able to have that and stay in touch and people come back. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, the Tri-Cities is a small area, and
Yeah.
you go through Costco and be prepared to take a little time and visit with people. That
At
you,
least you can hold
That's
your
why
head
I don't
high.
want to
Yeah.
go to Costco 20
Yeah.
because that's a lot. It's asking a lot. I know.
So, personal values. How have those kind of been integrated into your construction business, your builds? Kind of a tricky question, but what does that look like?
So me, personal values, we're going to say honesty, integrity, those kind of things are definitely treating people with respect. Nobody's above anybody else. So like I say, our trades are, we call them trade partners. We try and get away from the term subcontractors. And like I say, if a guy's delivering the sod, he is equal to me as the person that's installing it or the person that's putting the finishing touches on the home. Because if he doesn't deliver that, then we don't have what we need. We're all equally, and it's all equally important. So I think for me is just being able to treat people with the kindness and respect that they deserve. We have high expectations, but we also show high appreciation for what they do because people want to be appreciated for the things that they're doing in the home. So we let them know that, and we also just keep coming back and express the importance of how they treat clients. So sometimes you may hear a colorful word from a trade or something like that,
You're
and
so
I'm just
proper.
an
You're
awful
so
word.
proper. The most proper man I know.
so I'll just say, so do you ever hear me using those
No,
kind of words?
sometimes it makes me mad because you're so proper and perfect in a good
my
way.
gosh, yeah.
I wish I could be more that
Whatever.
way.
Far from it. But the expectation is,
Yes.
I can't say I expect you to not use those kind of words because I have no idea at what moment a client's going to walk through a home, and if they hear something going on that's colorful, then they're gonna go, whoa, this is kind of uncomfortable, and so I can't expect that out of them if I'm not showing that same kind of thing. So
You do bring that out of people. I will say that, and I say that respectfully, and probably the best compliment I can give you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We had a trade one time, and everybody just doesn't think. Sometimes they make mistakes, and so he was frustrated. Something about the framer did, and he expressed his frustration with writing a particular colorful word on the stud that of course no one would ever see except maybe the next trade that comes and stuff like that. And so I just called up the owner and I go, yeah, that person's not welcome on our job site anymore.
Wow.
It's just like we're done, and there's no tolerance for that.
Yeah. Again, this is where I'm like, he sets apart.
This is going to be my takeaway from today. I got to go back and revisit my life and raise the bar.
I know.
I think I've kind of gotten off the track here.
But you
I
can
thought I
imagine.
was good, but I'm not.
Oh my gosh, this is all going downhill really fast.
It's okay.
So you can imagine a client going in and they see something on the wall, and so for the rest of the time that they live in the home, every time they look over there, they're going to see
what that was.
And
Even though it's covered up with a door jamb or sheetrock,
Yeah.
they're still going to remember it's there.
Yes.
they're going to remember. I had one client, it was really cool. Just make me think. They went through the house and they had wrote inspirational verses, quotes and stuff all through the house on the framing before it got covered up.
Yep.
Never to be seen, but they knew it was there. And anyway, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay, so just kind of at the very end, and just to kind of talk about a little bit about you personally, Brett. How many kids do you have?
So got 4 children, 3 boys and a daughter.
And are all, other than Tyler, is he the only one that's in the building industry?
Yeah, he's the one. I always told my children, like, you do not have to be in my industry. And they grew up really not liking my industry because they grew up sweeping floors, picking up junk, puttying holes.
Yeah.
And they're going, yeah, I don't want to do that. And I encouraged them, go out and do your own thing. Don't feel like you got to be in the family business or anything. And so they all 4 have. And, one's an engineer and one's a doctor and one's a graphic design, and Tyler was on a different path, and he called up one day and he goes, you know what? He goes, I think I'd like to come back and work with you and be in the industry. And I'm like, okay, but you got to do it because you want to do it. And I says, if at any moment during these several beginning years, if you say, yeah, I changed my mind, I go down that road where you want to go. I said, I want you to be here because you want to be here. So we're really enjoying it. Tyler's awesome. We have a great relationship. We love working together, and who could ask anything more than to kind of hang out with one of your sons every day.
That's awesome.
And how many grandkids do you have?
So we have, oh my gosh, 7 grandchildren.
Yeah. And
Cool stage of life.
yes, and your wife Sandra.
Sandra.
Yes. And how long have you guys been married?
So we, this December, we will have been married 39 years.
And in
Wow.
one sentence, and I say this, what's the key for 39 years? Especially
Oh,
going through
don't
no,
do
and
this
I
to
say this
him.
because
Poor guy.
he's owned, like employed, like
I am
he
going to
owns
be in
his,
trouble after this.
no,
you
he
are.
owns his own
No,
business, and he's
we
kind
don't.
of grown to see it. He's gained a family. So I would like to know, because we own our own businesses. Like, what's your secret to not happy wife, happy life?
To not
But-
answer this question is a secret. That's what he
So
should do.
people say that, but that is very one-sided, right? So if
I agree.
it's all just the wife's happy, then it doesn't do
Yes.
any good. So
Thank you for saying that.
So I know that's a really common saying, and it's fun, but so here's the quote that I probably would hang my hat on in answer to that question, and the quote is, the more you concern yourself with your own happiness, the less likely you are to find it.
Oh. Okay. The more you concern with your own happiness, the less likely you're out.
Right. So in a marriage, if I'm focused on, hey, what do I want? What if I say, hey, what's going to make Sandra happy? How can I do this for her? How can I make her life a little easier? The very things that I want all of a sudden kind of seem to come back to me. It's a divine paradox, if you will.
Oh.
And so if you're unselfish and you're working on helping your companion be happy, then that happiness that you so much want will come.
I have a quote on my board. I've had it for a couple of years. It says, the magic you are wishing for is in all of the work you are avoiding. And I have it on my goal board. And I just think that's true about anything in life. You know?
It's true.
Yeah, you won't put the hard work in. So
And the key is hard work. And everything that is hard is usually good, and everything that is easy and simple is usually not so great.
That's
so
true.
Everything, any relationship, whether it's a relationship with our trades, with us, with a client, you can't just like, oh, this is easy, it all falls into place. It's like, no, it takes work.
Right.
It's hard. And so the same thing with a relationship like marriage, it is effort and energy, and it needs to be nurtured every day.
Yep.
You need to spend that time on it, and you need to date and be friends,
Yes.
and just you go home thinking, okay, I would really like to do this, but I know what's her love language, and if I kind of hit those needs, then those very things will come back to me, right?
Thanks for the
So
advice.
how's that for
At the very
a philosophical deep dive?
I love it. This is why. So I told Travis earlier. Thank you, Travis, for hanging out with us. But I wanted. This was just so people get to know you and what I've gotten to know, Brett. And I am not saying this because accolades. I'm saying this because genuinely, Brett, I admire your business, your way of business is what I should say. And that's something I'm very proud about and excited to help in selling your homes, which this house will sell because it is stunning. So I'm not worried. But beyond that, thank you for being willing to communicate with us.
I just have one more question for you.
Oh, go for it.
So when you put the tool bags down and you take them off and you get in your truck and you leave the job site and head out of here, what do you like to do?
Oh, wow.
What
Good
do you
question.
want to do? Yeah.
Well, after the work and family and grandkids and stuff, it's kind of like, what time is there left to do something? But a couple things, I enjoy being outdoors. So like if there's an opportunity, not that I get to do it a lot, but if the family can go camping, I enjoy that. Love to go fishing. I've got a motorcycle, a road bike motorcycle, and so I love to just get out on the bike and go down the road and put my phone away and just kind of enjoy that.
That's how I met him.
Mindless
He came in his
exercise.
bike to my open house, a random open house. I opened the door because he rings the doorbell, and there he is, Brett Lott, with his, it looked like a Harley. I don't know what it was. It's just a nice bike out there.
It's a metric bike. So
Either way, it was
the Harley
cool looking.
people are all going to kill me.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Either way, there's Brett just in his.
cut that
I
out.
was like,
We'll
what
press.
is this? He rides a bike too? That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was a cool side of him I
that's
did
awesome.
not know about.
So we've always had a boat. The kids, we grew up on the Snake and Columbia River. So water skiing at the time, but tubing and wakeboarding and wake surfing. We really enjoy that kind of stuff. So, but at the end of the day, it's just if we can get some time to hang out with the family, that's,
Your ultimate.
if it's not my favorite thing to do, but it's theirs, if I'm hanging out with the family, it's good.
Yeah.
We just
Yes.
spent a couple days at the coast with the kids and the grandkids and just
and
walking
you
up
played
and down the beach.
pickleball. You said you played.
Yep, we play pickleball. Not well, but it's not like I'm a fanatic pickleball player.
Yeah.
But my son Tyler
I can
actually
see you
is.
with the what's it called? What are those things called?
The headband and
The headband.
Nope, I don't have a headband.
Yeah,
I don't have the special equipment, and I got the $40 paddle. So now you know where I stand. But my kids are always my kids have always been very athletic, and so we've been involved in a lot of their sports and stuff like that. And I did sports a ton in high school, and
Well, that's cool.
So now when your wife says stay out of the kitchen, it can mean two different things. If you're playing pickleball, you stay out of the kitchen, and you also stay out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no, she's like, come in the kitchen and help me.
The ball bounced. You can.
I
get
know,
in the
right?
kitchen.
Now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
If
awesome.
you want to make your wife happy, put
Yeah.
the dishes away.
There you go.
There you go. That's right.
Iron the
I
clothes.
love it.
Well,
I
thank
love
you
it.
again, Brett, and thank you, Travis. And I
thank
think, Travis, if you ever decide to build a house,
I know. I already know where I'm going.
No pressure. No pressure.
This is what she does. She just does that. Now I have to, we'll be building a house next year. Does that sound like fun?
we'll work on a lot pretty soon. Don't worry, I got it figured out.
Actually, I got a great house right here.
I'm sure you do.
Either way, thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's happened
I
in
know,
our
I
lives.
know,
She's
I
like,
know,
do
I
not
know.
PTSD me
Wow,
right now.
thanks for the jinx there, Travis. Yeah. It'd be terrible if the roof caved in.
And then Brett just says that. All right.
You ready?
We're going to be as ready as we can be.
We'll be fine.
All right.
With no prep on my part.
You're going
Just
to be fine.
FYI.
You're going to be
This
fine.
is the best way to do it.
Okay. I'm Jemima Crosby with Coldwell Banker, and we've got Brett Lott with the Brett Lott. Oh, not with the. See, let's see. I cannot. Okay, sorry. The intro somehow. Let's start. Okay.
You can do all of that, but this part
I don't
you're going to
know.
stumble on?
I know.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
because it's a recorded thing, I guess.
Yeah.